Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are diving straight into something I personally find endlessly fascinating. We're talking about the hidden curriculum of project management. We'll be looking at all of this through the lens of the Swadeep OS methodology, which, quite frankly, takes a completely different approach to how we handle those messy, real-world projects we all dread. Look, we aren't here today to rehash standard project management tips or, basic tutorials. Instead, we're really focusing on how to move way beyond simply treating symptoms and uncovering a hidden way of thinking that the absolute best project managers out there rely on. So get ready, because this might literally change how you view your next big project crisis.
All right, I want to start us off with a very uncomfortable truth. Imagine you're managing a massive project, right? And you're watching your bid incidence rate, your IR, and suddenly it just plummets. I'm talking a drop from 35% all the way down to a measly 4%. Now, seeing that number crash to 4%, that creates an immediate, visceral sense of panic in the conventional project management world. You see that drop, your stomach completely sinks, and your gut instinct is just, oh no, my project is falling apart right before my eyes.
But here is the raw, direct twist that completely flips this entire scenario on its head. Are you ready? It was never sampling. A massive drop in incidence rate isn't immediately a sampling problem. Actually, more often than not, it's a feasibility problem that's entirely disguised as a sampling problem. The numbers are dropping. Yes, that's real. But the actual failure, that's happening somewhere else entirely.
Section 1. The Incidence Rate Illusion. Why Symptoms Deceive Us.
To really wrap our heads around this illusion, we have to define what we're actually doing here. We're talking about ProjectThinking, and this is not your standard corporate PM training. ProjectThinking is all about uncovering the hidden curriculum. It's about learning the brutal, honest lessons that reality actually teaches us, the exact kind of lessons that standard corporate training and textbooks completely ignore. ProjectThinking requires us to investigate the root causes of our data, rather than just blindly reacting to the symptoms flashing red on our dashboards. Section 2. The Rookie Reaction. The trap of conventional training. So when that IR drops to 4%, what happens? Well, the untrained eye goes into full-blown panic mode, and they rapidly fire off 3 common assumptions. Step 1, push more sample, just flood the system. Step 2, add more suppliers. If one isn't working, let's try 5, right? Step 3, increase the incentives. Let's just throw more money at the respondents. They do all of this, just hoping and praying that the numbers will magically recover. But honestly, all they're doing is treating a symptom with brute force. And this beautifully illustrates the core divide. Junior PMs react. They see the dropping number, and they smash the panic buttons. But experienced PMs, they investigate. Experience teaches you to stop the panic. You don't just throw more sample at a broken system. You stop, you take a step back, and you treat the failing project like a literal crime scene. You put up the mental yellow tape, and you start hunting for clues. Section 3. Asking the right question, shifting the investigation. So what is stopping qualified respondents from ever becoming respondents? We really need to stop asking, why is sampling failing, and start asking this instead. This right here is the exact moment your thinking evolves. You're no longer just accepting the surface level data. You are aggressively investigating the barrier that's keeping your target audience out. Section 4. Revealing the hidden reality. The true culprit exposed. Okay, remember our 4% complete rate from earlier? That's just a tiny, tiny sliver of the whole picture. So where did everyone else actually go? They didn't just vanish into thin air because of a bad sample. No, 46% of our respondents were rejected due to hidden quota logic buried inside the survey itself. And another 50%, they were booted out by intense security checks. The reality is staring right at us. This is not, and literally never was, a fieldwork failure. The harsh reality is simply this. The survey rejected them, not the fieldwork. The people were there. They were totally ready. But the feasibility constraints were hidden right beneath the surface of the survey logic. When we reframe it this way, we completely expose the fundamental thinking mistake of blaming the sample. Blaming the fieldwork team in this scenario isn't just unhelpful, it's entirely factually incorrect. Section 5. Metrics begin your thinking. The core mental model. The crucial point we need to hammer home is this. Metrics don't end thinking, they begin it. When you see an incidence rate of 4%, that metric is absolutely not the final verdict of the project's health. It's simply the starting point of your investigation. It's an invitation to dig deeper, to find those hidden logic rejections, those security traps, and get to the actual truth of the matter.
And, as we adopt this new mindset, it's so incredibly vital to remember that we are exposing thinking mistakes here, not individuals. This whole explainer, and this entire methodology for that matter, is not about pointing fingers at different departments or throwing the sampling team under the bus. Not at all. It is strictly about systems thinking. It's about upgrading our collective judgment so we can identify where our mental models are failing us and fix the system, rather than just punishing the people.
So let's see how this actually builds into our everyday toolkit. We have these surviving sweep-side principles that act as tools to help you apply this investigative, non-reactive mindset. We've got the SCAR test, the Google test, the 3-year rule, and the trench test. Now, while we won't deep dive into the nuts and bolts of each of these today, just know that these are the practical filters experienced PMs use to constantly question the data, verify their assumptions, and ensure they are treating the root cause and not just swatting at the symptom.
So, to wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question. I want you to think about the last project that completely surprised you. What assumption survived way, way longer than it should have? Did you react to a plummeting metric by just pushing more sample, or did you stop and investigate the hidden curriculum? I really hope this explainer has challenged you to look at your projects through a completely different lens. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I highly, highly encourage you to take this project thinking mindset into whatever complex puzzle you are tackling next.